Well, hello, good people of YouTube and the world of the interweb. I'm Mike Lowe, and welcome back to the Same Old Lions franchise stream, where we, of course, are trying to break the streak, the trend, whatever you want to call it, of the inability of the Detroit Lions to put in anything together. And we've seen some of that in this actual series stream as well. But it's been a lot of fun so far. And again, this is a All-Madden franchise stream using a custom slider set that I have up on Operation Sports in their Madden slider form. So if you want to see what we're using, I think it's version 1.10 is the current set. That's exactly what I'm using here. Very similar to the success we've had with the MLB The Show sliders, applying the same principles and community feedback, which is super valuable in setting up a slider set, not just for the community, but even just for my own gameplay. So a very, very similar thing we do at the show, we're doing it here with Madden. So I appreciate you checking this out. And the previous episode, what was it, 10, I think? The Thanksgiving game versus the Bears. Second half, I completely forgot to save the footage. So if you saw, there was a really good overview episode that kind of went over the pregame work I do. First half's there, the second half's not there. So before we get into me recapping what happened with that game, because it was really exciting, I wanted to go in and just kind of show you just some of the latest that's been going on since that last overview episode. So again, I try to do some breakdown, then we jump into gameplay. That's kind of the whole theme here of this series as we really start to just get prepped for the PlayStation 5, 4 weeks away as we jump in and continue this franchise. Maybe, I don't know if we start a second one, I'm not quite sure. So again, if you have feedback on that, cool. Definitely pop into the chat, let me know, or in the slider thread and whatnot. You can follow me on Twitter as well, at MikeLove47. So but a couple new draftees to our draft board. First time I've gone through and actually scouted any halfbacks. You can see I actually just jumped right down and just started scouting some lower round guys because I'm a huge believer in not drafting running backs very early at all. Probably not even in the first 3 rounds because I don't like to sign them to extensions, number one. They get older, they start to wear down, and the same thing happens in Madden. It's a lot you're investing, not just financially, but in draft capital in taking a running back early. So I kind of wanted to start off this episode talking about the strategy behind that because, again, it's a position that typically they don't usually, most running backs don't actually even get a second contract in the NFL. And so it's a very, very replaceable position. So again, when we talk draft capital, when we talk financials, to me, I'm looking for guys who may end up being sleepers. So I was looking for elusive backs because we're going to have DeAndre Swift on the team. Philip Lindsay is not going to be re-signed. It looks like he wants too much money, $7 million something a year. It's not going to happen. So, but we are going to need somebody to fill in as a depth role. So if we can find someone later, this is great. We can use one of these draft picks here that are later, a 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick there, to beef up the backfield. So we looked at a guy named Larry Phillips. Wasn't looking good. Again, I mean, maybe we grab him with our 7th round pick or something if he's still there, possibly a 6th, but he wasn't even put on our draft board. But we did come across these two guys. We have John McClellan, an elusive back, 22-year-old player, 22-year-old running back out of Harvard. Good carrying, good spin move, good juke move. So pretty athletic guy, 6 foot 193. And also, by the way, John McClellan came out as a mid-second is his kind of scouting there. And we have Xavier Dillard, who is a middle 3rd round pick. And so maybe not as good per se, but 21 years old, he's a year younger. He's got a good juke move, carrying, break tackle. So he's got a little bit of power there too. 5'9", 204, a little bit more of a compact build out of Ohio State there. So those were a couple guys that we have added to our draft board who I think can be really future Lions. One of these guys probably will, because I imagine one of them is going to fall, and I'm not sure how aggressive the AI is in... I'm not sure how aggressive the AI is in grabbing guys late. I hope they are because it gives you a huge advantage, unfortunately. By the way, if you get this hold to reorder thing and it doesn't go away, all you gotta do is that. Just move a guy around for a second and put him back. So hey, you may notice the Lions are 2-9. We won another game. And unfortunately, it was the second half that was lost. But it was a really exciting game. The only bummer is when I resumed this game, I finished this one on my lunch break today. When I resumed this game, it wouldn't let me, I couldn't put on the, so here's the original start, right, the first half, and then I had to replay it the second half. I couldn't use the throwback jerseys. I was super bummed. So the first half, the video you probably saw, had the throwback jerseys. This one did not, but check out this performance here by the Lions. So we outscored the Bears 17-7. We were trailing 17-13 at the half. So we come out, we put up an extra 10 points on them, and we win by 6. So we needed all of those points. Offensive yards gained 485, the best output probably in this entire series by the Lions. 218 rushing yards, by far the best output the Lions have had. Passing yards 267, just a tick above our average. 15 first downs, they're 16 again, pretty even there. Turnovers, we had 2 fumbles. They were both, I can't remember if they were in the first half or not, but I know the first one was the Bears' first second quarter touchdown, or their first touchdown. The second one, same kind of thing. We were trying, actually it was the second half, so we were trying to kill out the clock. We were running, we were like in the red zone. I ran out, I had a first down, but in order for me to get that last yard, I had to stay in bounds, which he did, and I did that little dragging animation where I'm dragging a guy, and then the second guy came in and hit Escobar, fumbles, Bears recover. Of course, it was a very same old Lions, excuse me, moment there. But nonetheless, we didn't throw any interceptions, whereas Foles did to start the second half. It was like their very first drive of the second half. He threw a pick to who picked him off? Trufant, I believe it was Desmond Trufant. So, but yeah, really nice game. Again, penalty yards still pretty low. It's just kind of a thing with Madden. But let's look at some player stats. We'll take a look at the Bears first. Nick Foles, again, not a great day, 283. A lot of that was just kind of garbage time at the end. Touchdown, that pick I mentioned. Sacked twice, 61%, 6 yard per attempt. So, not a terrible game. And for us, that's a huge victory because our defense has been pretty bad. Kerryon Johnson, of course, we traded in the preseason. 14 carries, 77 yards. So, still just getting eaten alive by, getting eaten up by the run game a little bit. I mean, our linebackers are pretty bad. And they haven't gotten much better since this series has started. So, but quietly, he had a very nice day. He had, I think his long run was 33. So he had take that one away. We actually did a decent job of containing him, but nonetheless, still put up a good average there. Allen Robinson, I guess for him, a quiet day. 9 catches, 82 yards. Cole Kmet had 2 really big catches for them. 21.5 average reception for him. Trent Taylor, and even the rookie, finally got some balls. He caught his first career touchdown pass in the third or fourth quarter, somewhere in the second half. Ron Capps, who was, 15th or 16th pick in the draft for the Bears. And one of the receivers that we were considering picking in the first round had we stayed at number 3 pick, which we didn't, of course, traded down. So, again, they were moving the ball okay. Blocking, they gave up a couple sacks. Defense, they had 2 sacks themselves. And again, probably still too many pass deflections. Some of that's just me not playing well. Some of it's using a rookie 72, whatever he is, quarterback. But again, there's a lot of deflections here. But the Lions also did their share of good defense here. Deron Harmon had a good game today. Justin Coleman, Will Harris, Jeff Okudah, all with deflections. Sacks, Tracy Walker on a blitz. Julian Okwara continues to be a really nice player along the edge. Joe Toller, the rookie, again, just very surprising rookie year for him. He's been outstanding. And then Trey Flowers and Jelani Tavai teamed up on a sack there too. So let's look at the Lions offense. Nick Escobar, really nice game, 97.1, 276 yards for the rookie, 1 touchdown along with 51, and he was 61%, but 8.1 yards per attempt. So that's fantastic to see, especially the rookie. Very excited to see him there. Again, he was our second round pick there early in the second round. Now check this out. We mentioned we had over 200 rushing yards, right? 15 carries, 105 yards for Phillip Lindsay. Just finally had a really productive game for us. DeAndre Swift as well, 9 attempts, 83 yards. Look at these averages. We have not seen those. Nick Escobar, a couple key runs too, even though he had the fumble sack, and then one of the rushes were a fumble. But he had 4 carries for 24 yards. So Bo Scarborough had the last run of the game to kind of seal the deal out of a power formation on like a 3rd and short. Got the first down, game over. So let's see, broken tackles. I think we only had the 1. It was DeAndre Swift. And but we had a couple long runs here. DeAndre Swift's touchdown was 43 yards. Phillip Lindsay had a 69-yarder, which it might have been his touchdown. Yeah, it must have been, yeah. Receiving, again, Pierre Griffin, our 3rd-round pick, who's just a normal dev. He's like a 71 overall. This guy continues to be a stud. He has over 800 yards right now with, 4 or 5 games left to play in the season as a 3rd-round rookie. He's just a complete breakout. We looked at the overview episode on episode 10, because, again, I broke that episode over a couple different videos. We were looking at his early career numbers versus a guy like Kenny Galladay's early career numbers. So he's looking really, really promising. I'm really curious to see what Madden does with him and in the offseason. Is he going to get a dev trait bump? We'll have to see. But again, 6 catches, 99 yards, 16.5 average. Had a 51-yard catch that was not a touchdown, very close. Philip Lindsay had another long catch. This one was for a touchdown as well. So he had a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So he really, really came to play for us. 5 catches for Swift. Galladay just 3 for 34 today, so a little quiet. And again, just trying to get Hawkinson. I was really trying to get him involved in the game plan this week. And it's just with these receivers getting open the way they've been, it's been tough to share the rock, I guess, with a guy like Hawkinson. So Tyrell Crosby there gives up a sack, and we looked at the defense. So really, really exciting win for the Lions. Again, I mean, you can see we were 0-8. We've won 2 of our last 3 games against division foes. We've been in so many of these games, right? I mean, we very easily could be a 500 team, but again, now we're starting a rookie quarterback about midway through the season. It's a challenge, right? But speaking of the rookie quarterback, he's done pretty well. So if we go in and just look at Nick Escobar here, you know, from a Madden perspective, right? He's a normal dev. He's up to a 73 now. I believe he was I forgot what maybe a 71 when we got him, or 70. I can't remember, something like that. It probably shows us here. Does it show me when I actually did the upgrade? Yeah, anyway. But if you look at his stats, I mean, he's been doing a nice job. And again, I think the whole question here with Nick Escobar, so again, the rating's not great. 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for him. Sacked 6 times. 56%, that's a little low, but the yards per attempt is looking pretty solid. And again, he's able to add a little bit of rushing here too. Nothing too crazy, but he can pick up a key first down every now and again. So that's been really nice to see. So, you know, again, the question with this stream, really for the next few weeks here, is going to be, do we stick with Nick Escobar moving forward? Or, I mean, we're still slotted, I believe, to have the first overall pick. We are. So, or do we use the first overall pick on Colin Farley, who looks to be, you know, the best quarterback available for sure. And he's the only one that's going to be worthy of that pick. And so I believe he's also the only one we even have in our draft board. He is. So we have him technically number 1 on the draft board because he's a scrambler who also has A+ throw power. I mean, this guy really looks to be a special player. But Nick Escobar is playing really well. But I mentioned last time, maybe that frees us up. Hey, it never hurts to have 2 quarterbacks with injuries. Possibly we can trade Nick Escobar in a year or 2 when his contract's expiring, something like that. So it's going to be hard to pass on. But otherwise, you know, Greg Wilkins is in the mix too, getting just a monster of a speed rusher. 6'5", 272 is another option there. So, yeah, that's that. We are playing the 5-6 Niners in our next game here. George Kittle, of course, they have some really, really fast receivers. They have, of course, George Kittle, who's a 99 overall. Garoppolo's not bad. They have some very quick running. There's a lot of speed here, so we're going to be trying to play a lot of zone. Trying to man up with these guys is really not going to be our best bet. So we're going to be trying to play a little cover 3, try to use those 4 underneath coverage guys to just kind of clog things up a little bit. If they do throw deep, they're going to have some speed, obviously, but hopefully our guys can be able to hang with those guys and at least get there and make a play. Of course, trying to stop the run. It's a cliche, but it's always a very important thing. And then they also blitz a ton. So as we look here, 49% zone blitz out of a 4-3. So that they're blitzing a lot. That's different than a zone blitz out of a 3-4. So because of that, we're going to try to counter some of those things there. So again, it's kind of the general game plan. The other thing with game planning, guys, is you want to really just kind of get a feel for the game. You may notice by now that Madden just kind of like, it's like a roll of the dice when a game starts. And there's some games where you're like completely in control, like the last week for me where we ran for over 200 yards. And there's other weeks where, my God, I can run for like 15 yards. I mean, things are just getting shut down. Certain receivers aren't playing well. Just, you know, certain sides of the offensive line are not blocking how you're expecting, and all kinds of different things that can be going on as there's a lot of moving parts in these. So, again, just something to consider as we jump into these things. So, otherwise, I think we are ready for some gameplay. So again, I want to say if you do have questions, let me know in the chat. I'll try to check, in between possessions and things like that. The sliders I mentioned are over on Operation Sports. Otherwise, 2 injuries, by the way, for the 49ers. Pretty good players, too, both on defense for them. We're a healthy team again, which is nice. But they have Jimmy Ward, who is going to be out, and Fred Warner, their middle linebacker, who is out. So they are a little weak in their secondary, and they're very weak at middle linebacker. But the rest of their defense is really good. Their offense, it's very fast. They have good tackles, so they're going to be able to have some time to make those throws and things like this. So, yeah, we might have our hands full, I should say, a little bit with this team. So we'll have to see how it goes here. But you can look up at the schedule at the top there, 13 through 17. That leaves 5 games left for the Lions. So, I mean, the best we're going to do is 7 and 9. And I'm trying to win these games. I really don't want the first overall pick. I don't want to pay the type of contract that's going to come with. So the more wins we can accumulate here, the better. And we'll be freeing up some money by cutting Stafford or possibly moving him in the offseason. So yeah, let's jump in. Let's see if the crowd at Ford Field can help the Lions here. But I appreciate you guys checking out the stream. It's fun to do a live one. Usually having to kind of break these up just with life and everything else going on. It's hard to sit down and actually commit a big chunk of time to do these live. So I'm gonna skip the intro. The only bummer when I do these live and I'm on camera is I can't stand. I mean, you just see my knees. I like to stand when I play a lot of these games. I get very antsy sitting here. But if you haven't seen Broadcast Camera before, you're in for a very nice treat. If you want the tutorial on how to set this up, check episode 1, season 1 of this series. The very first thing I do. It's literally the first 1 second of the video. We jump right into that. Here's Garoppolo. Having a decent year. 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. By the way, if there's any issues with volume, let me know. Stop the blitz. Try to clog up with the cover 3.
1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's our biggest problem right there with the run defense is just on a play you feel like you stop them, it's still 5 yards, right? I'm standing nickel. I'm staying cover 3 too.
Those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman.
Yeah.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it out past the 45. 16 yards, a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it.
I'd be surprised to see a play action pass here.
And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Pettis Dallas hauling this in from Garoppolo. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do?
And he's going to take it in.
Man, just marched right down the field on it.
Raheem Mostert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
I don't know if the AI actually intended to do this. I mean, it was a very smart game plan. Our run defense has been horrendous this year. We're like 29th or 30th in the NFL. The run defense. And they just ran it. They ran it right down the field.
Exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem.
Well, see if the rookie can, rookies, I guess, really. 2 rookies on offense. Let's check this out.
Yards into the end zone. He'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
So I mentioned earlier, 2nd-round pick this year. Took over for Stafford a little more than halfway through the season or so.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play it out much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line.
I don't think they're blitzing here. Here for playoff.
Throwing deep for Galladay.
The safety did a good job getting there.
But instead,
look at that replay. Their corners are not very good, so when I see a situation like that, I will try to audible. My safety stayed pretty true to the middle. And I don't really think, even though he's got his 96 speed, there wasn't a ton of separation going on here. And then, you know, maybe might have been eventually, but okay, a decent shot. Single coverage on Galladay here. Oops. Oh gosh. Sorry about that.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This is it's complete. They'll take this to the
actually sort of had double coverage on him. That really wasn't a good throw.
On 3rd down, they hit for 30 yards.
But
Well, he's definitely a big
oh,
target
they're
out there,
challenging
listed
it.
at 6'4", and
No.
he used every one of those extra inches to go up and make
It looked
that
like he got
catch.
into me, but
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
I mean, this looks good. He has toes in. Get out of here, Niners. Scrubs. Uh-oh, crowd's booing. Oh, come on. That's garbage.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting that 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
15 yards
playing their usual crummy self right now.
First down.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends.
Not going to see passes like that on default All-Madden. Again, if you want to see the sliders I'm using for this, check out Operation Sports.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
All the guys to try and cover. They're doing a good job.
Another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. 16 yards of first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. That'll be a gain of 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
Wait a second. That looked totally off limits. See if we can return the favor.
First down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver
gets both
feet down in bounds as well.
No way. These refs are terrible today. They better give this to me. They better not lionize me here. Oh God, come on. That is such a lion call.
Well, he challenged the play.
Like literally, Galladay was in bounds. They called him out. He was out of bounds. They called him in.
Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself.
That's garbage.
But it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Garoppolo able to find Samuel there for a Niners first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Oh, Lions, come on.
Make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe the defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy. You understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Lindsey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 15 carries, 105 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff because not only are they seeing a back pile of yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync. And that bodes well this late in the season.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he'll only get this to the 47.
I had a few options on that play. If it wasn't 3rd down, I probably would have taken a shot with Galladay. He's over in the slot here on the left. That safety was there. I mean, if I zipped it in, probably have it here. I was hoping he could have caught that a little bit more in stride. Question is, do we go for this or not? But yeah, I think we just punt it here.
Here's Jack Fox now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown down right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6.
That's
going to be caught by Samuel. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
On 1st down, Garoppolo, and it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, He's got second and third down to fall back on.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. That's complete to the tight end, Warner. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And that'll be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8. And hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Looking for the right side receiver on that, on an in route. Might have been a tight window. Should have gone to the running back though.
Talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the throw going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's...
Yeah, had Edelman there on the right, but it's hard to see. I was already made up my mind to throw there, so yeah, a bit of a force throw.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10, now down it at the 11-yard line. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. He finds Coleman. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam! Puts it right in there on his hands. Nice completion. Really good pickup.
George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from. That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It'll hit his man. It's Edelman. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. Edelman's first catch, and it's good for a first down. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. D Ford able to record his 5th sack of the season. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process. And now his yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation. One that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Not as sharp this week for sure.
But
I thought should be right. He's a low 70s rookie quarterback. He's going to 300 yards a week.
But it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Niner offense coming back out there. Tevin Coleman leading the way. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Right. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Oh, shoot.
Second down, here's Garoppolo.
That's not good. Yeah, I did a play predict on the run. Thought I knew what they were running there.
George Kittle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers had 6 to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Thomas. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
So you know the momentum's against you, and you're pretty sure the defense is sitting on a pass predict, and you just run it up the middle, and you still get nothing. But it's definitely one-sided half.
In this first half of action.
Well, this play has been pretty efficient for us this year.
Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. On a crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. They'll look to throw here on first down. Screen pass to Lindsay. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up in big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll look to throw again. Throwing deep for Galladay. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Back to throw again.
Oh, jeez.
He's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
back to throw on 3rd and goal.
Just gonna take a chance. No.
San Fran's defense was strong in
Probably not a
coverage.
good throw. Couldn't see what I was doing.
Sometimes it's just not your dead. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And his kick here is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
That was a calculated chance. I saw that the safety came up. I'm not even sure who was over there. It must have been the other
Somewhat
safety.
of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know
I got two
that you need a
timeouts.
little bit better effort in the second half.
Thought about doing an onside kick there,
To
but
speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Jameis Winston has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead
that play
as
helped
well.
right there.
As we get you
The
back
run predict
to Brandon
error.
Gaudin.
My bad. Get the ball here, though. Get a touchdown. We're right back in it. We'll have momentum, too.
And they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken about a yard deep.
Good blocks, guys.
Good
Good job.
this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Galladay wide open. Or, I'm sorry, Hawkinson.
Well, this is just
I thought I had the time. Yeah, delayed blitz. Damn.
it's a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the goal gets tough in here.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
That's passing interference on me.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Illegal contact, right?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. This is Coleman. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Looking for Ayuk, and he's got him. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They go back to the ground, this time Swift. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
This got a block. Oh my god.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
What are they doing?
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went
this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly in position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Just enough to get the 1st down there with a 1-yard pickup. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions 31. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One of the selling points of the
Our defense is tired. They've just been
really nice sight line to his receiver.
far better team.
Almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball
But it needs to be a tough game. Their defense is tough. A lot of speed on offense. We're having to play a lot of zone, which is not our team's strength.
It's 49er football here. They've got the lead
But
as
minus
well
that big
as
play we
get
gave
set
up, which is
to
totally my
start the
bad.
4th and final quarter. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. Throwing now is Garoppolo.
Taylor again.
Chalked that up as their 1st sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th. And Gold is able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Lions offense set to take over. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Throw in deep for Galladay. Almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Not our game today. We just have to rush here.
The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Can't even get away from the rush. Yeah. He like just sucked right into him. Look at that. Had a lane. Get through a double team. Warps right to my quarterback. Still see some All-Madden stuff. That's just how it goes on All-Madden.
Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of
by far been the better team today, so.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets us inside the 35-yard line. 15 for the Niners there on a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. 2nd and 14. Coleman now. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world that.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman.
Really bad today, the defense, as usual.
And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive
at home, we're just getting worked. But same sliders as the last game. That's what I was saying earlier, right? It's just sometimes you get these games that are just very momentum heavy, and one team's converting 3rd down, scoring, other team's not.
The touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Another run by Lindsey. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete.
Wide open. Just not accurate
The
today.
deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to walk for him deeper. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll set up a throw.
Good pass, yeah.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And the hole closes quickly.
Defense is just everywhere. Everywhere, no matter what I try.
On the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
A great open field tackle that's going to stop him shy
Good for
of
them.
the goal line.
One more.
And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They will run again with Coleman. I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Eric Armstead make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. And they're going to speed things up here. 2nd and 9 now. Escaping the pressure right.
It's crazy. You can't run away from anybody.
Receiver, and he's brought down.
Holy cow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, it definitely has.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pressure gets to him again. Here it comes.
Literally just trying to run.
Get him, and on the season now, that is
They dropped everybody back. There's just nowhere. Everyone's covered. 5 guys can't block 4. That's the 2nd time he's beaten a double team. But not playing well. That's what happens. Momentum's against you. And all we can really do is just check this out. Try a little bit right here.
Going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. As he throws, this one's going to go straight down the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined. Now, loose football. This is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard
Very
line.
doubtful.
He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Overturned. This seems right there.
Partner, less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Excuse me.
A couple on the play, so now 3rd down.
Just played poorly. They played very efficiently.
The ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Well, Lions fall to 2 and 10. 4 games left.
And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
Good recipe to lose right there. Our defense really didn't do anything. Our offense couldn't do anything. So total offense just right there. That tells you the story. We have them in just about everything. Their downs were bad. Yeah, can't win like that. So Garoppolo played very efficiently. Escobar did not play well. Sacked a lot. He's a rookie though, which it should be happening. I'm glad to actually see that with the slider set. Of course, they just obliterated us running as usual. 147 yards. That's a good game plan. You can't stop it. That's All-Madden with AI run block at 25. So it's tough. You really gotta have a good defense. Lindsey played well, Swift did not. Griffin again, 100 yards, over 15, 16.6 per reception. Galladay, just one catch for 54 yards, had a drop. They had a lot of drops again. I think I might need to raise that up, but probably lower accuracy again. So yeah, I think those will be a couple changes I'll make. With today's patch, I think those are going to be good changes. So, Kittle had a good game as to be expected. That's really it though. Nothing else too crazy. Our offensive line played really bad. 6 sacks for them. Not a good day. Just a 1 sack for us. That's good. Tough loss. We're not a very good team, so to be expected. But anyway, guys, I appreciate checking out the live gameplay. It's been a while since we've had a chance to do that. Sorry, it was pretty underwhelming for the Lions here, but that's been the story of the season so far. So we're going to continue this franchise stream going. Probably get into some other games eventually too. NCAA 14, of course, the PS5 comes out in under a month now. What else? MLB The Show off season after playing all 162. We'll be looking at that a little bit, possibly some NHL. I know there's some people waiting for rosters and things like that, and NBA 2K on the PS5 for sure. So yeah, those are the things that'll be going on. So again, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you'd like to be following all of those different franchise streams we'll be doing, franchise chatter, just general strategy, right? Just team building strategy, things like that. So I'm Mike Lowe. You can find this slider set on Operation Sports, and you can follow me on Twitter at MikeLowe47. But otherwise, I appreciate you checking it out, and I'll see you next time.